Welcome to another conversation with the Brothers of Two Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video, but before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of these bangers that we drop every single week. We appreciate the support. God bless.
Flag football beef, which is crazy.
Flag football beef, y'all. Y'all think about that?
Flag football beef. If it's even beef anyway, but U.S. national flag football champion quarterback Darrell Housh, Doucette.
Housh. His name is Housh.
Housh. Yep. Housh Doucette has an issue with the NFL's Olympic flag football announcement, which implied NFL players would take part in the games in the summer of 2028. Who stated, "I think it's disrespectful that they just automatically assume that they're able to just join the Olympic team because of the person they are. They didn't help grow this game to get it to the Olympics." Sticks, do you think Housh has a point with his statement? And I got I won't say a barrage, but I got a couple other questions to come up.
So I'm kind of on both sides of the fence. I'm more so with, I would say I'm more so with the NFL players than I am with the flag football players. But let me tell you why. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Housh. I've played against Housh before. He, on the East Coast, flag football is humongous, bro. Like all of the East Coast, it is humongous. Kind of going over towards like your Ohio's, like mid East all the way over to East. Like definitely on the East Coast, it's huge on that side. And Housh is a good player. Housh is a really good player. I've played against Housh before. He's a really, really good player. He's won world championships in 2021 when they went to Jerusalem, whenever they played in the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama. The Continental Championship in 2023, he was the MVP. He's a really, really good flag football player. Really, really good flag football player. So don't get me wrong. Housh has right to say what he says because he's a really good player. Flag football player. I'm not going to just say football player. He's a really good flag football player. The reason and the reason why I'm kind of on the fence is because I have experience in both. I was in the NFL, granted for a short time, but I was in the NFL. Everybody there is an athlete, bro. Everybody there is fast. Everybody there is strong. Everybody there is fundamentally sound. Everybody who is there deserves to be there in the biggest league in football that you can get to. Mm-hmm. Flag football, from what Housh is saying, is a very different game from what the physical game. It's still physical now because you definitely have 4-man contact, 5-man contact, 7-man contact, 8-man, all the way up to 9-man contact. Flag football. You have all of those things. And people do get hit. You can what they call body up to pull the flags. You can do all of that. People get knocked out in flag football. Now, don't get it twisted. But it's more of an agile game than it is a powerful game. And he has points because flag football isn't as easy as what people make it out to be. And I agree with him when he says that I don't agree with how they feel like they should just come in off namesake just because they're in the NFL and the NFL players. Some of them might get a rude awakening whenever they find out that a lot of these players who actually play flag football for a living, or they know the game and they know the strategy behind it. And they would probably be better than some of these NFL players just off skill alone from the flag football standpoint. Now, on the other side of that, it wouldn't take these NFL players long to pick that shit up. So it wouldn't take them long. I was talking to my boy Steve. Shout out to you, Steve, if you're watching the podcast. He one of my old bosses back in the day. I was talking to Steve because he was my quarterback where we won 4 national championships in flag football. 5-man contact, 4 national championships. We were raw back in the day. Trust me. And he said that it would take them like a month or so just to get the hang of flag football and go out there and kill people. I don't even think it would take them that long, but I'll give them a month. It wouldn't take them that long to figure it out. So like I wouldn't call this beef because you can't beef with yourself. Ain't nobody gonna respond to Housh. Like ain't nobody gonna respond to Buddy. But I understand why he has that narrative that they would have a rude awakening. It wouldn't be that easy for them to just come in and just take somebody's spot, and they would have to earn it, and they shouldn't be in the Olympics just off namesake. But nigga, these motherfuckers NFL players, bro. Like, if you ain't ever been at that level, you don't know what the hell you talking about, bro. Because they will pick it up so quickly with no problem, bro. They definitely would. So I can see both sides, and I'm lobbying a little bit more on the flag football side because I understand both, and I know that flag is a little bit more strategic, a little bit more agile, but it wouldn't take them long, bro. What you think about this quote unquote beef?
I think the beef is silly.
It is. Unquote. I agree with that.
And I think the statement is silly also. I'm going to tell you why. We don't like to admit it, but first off, he said they should not be, it's crazy to think that they can come in just off of namesake and think they can get a roster spot.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't like to admit it. We just talked about it earlier, but didn't we just see this with Bronny? He got a roster spot off of namesake. Don't we see this every day in corporate life? People get things just
you
for
own
namesake.
Below. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean that's just life in America. We hate to admit it, but that type of stuff is everywhere. So somebody gets something just off of namesake. I don't. You can make that face all you want to.
No. I was thinking to myself, so Jalen Hurts was the one that threw the football on fire into the torch and lit it for the Olympic Games for 2028. You know, other people like Joe Burrow have mentioned that they wanted to play. And other guy, Caleb Williams, said that they wanted to play in the Olympics. So would this be a form of nepotism? A little bit.
Why do you think the NFL made
an Olympic
ad for it?
Yeah, facts. Because they're gonna be in there.
It's going to help grow the game of football, just like with the NBA. When they allow the dream team to be a part of the Olympic, or allow the NBA players to be a part of the Olympics. And after that dream team, everybody was talking about NBA basketball, and the game exploded tremendously. In America, football is the number one sport, but it's not a global game. Like, it's starting to be a global game as Japan beat the United States in football. I don't know how, but it happened. So it's starting to be a global game. People are starting to pick up an overseas. But, you know, we like physicality in America. Sure. Not all countries like physicality like that. So playing flag football will allow you to get a taste of football, but not the overall impact. Like you said, it does have physical nature to it. You can body up. I don't know anything about flag football. I never played it. I too was like you. I was thinking, okay, yeah, I'm sure there's different rules. You can't like run with like how you typically
you can't flag guard, you know what I'm saying? If you're running with your arms towards your side, because just where your flags are, they can call flag guarding, because you're technically like trying to swipe somebody's hand away from pulling your flag. So you can't do that. But you got to kind of run with your arms up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And certain things you can't do. Yeah, certain things you can't do to keep people from taking the flag and stuff like that. Certain rules that's in normal football that you can't do. I too was like, okay, there's some strategies that would take them some time to get involved to understand. I don't think it's going to take them a month. I think it's going to take them 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I say, but I'll give them a month.
And they're going to be ready to go. Just like, case in point, FIBA rules and Olympic rules aren't the same as NBA rules. It don't take them no time. I mean, they play more often FIBA rules than they do NFL players going to flag football. Yeah. But it don't take them any time to adjust to those rules.
No time to adjust.
And then once they do, lights out. Another problem that I have with the statement that he says they did nothing to help grow the game. Quite literally, they did everything to help grow the game of flag football. And the reason that is because you don't hear when flag football. I started playing flag football when I was 7. Okay. I didn't go out there saying, hypothetically, I I want to be like Housh. I went out there saying I wanted to be like whoever the star was, right? Barry Sanders, Michael Irvin, those type of individuals. Quite literally, they did everything to grow the game of football. Okay, yeah, flag football, adult flag football has exploded in the last few years. Yeah. But it's all the other thing of why NFL and these type of leagues have done everything to help grow the league is because most individuals that play flag football are playing flag football because either they didn't make it professionally or they inspired to make it professionally, and just, it just happens. So they're like, well, let me go play flag football. Quite literally, they did everything to help grow the game. So I have an issue with that, with his statement, but I understand where he's coming from. Like, yeah, I've worked, bust my tail, won all these championships, gotten notoriety, playing flag football. I am who I am in flag football. And for an NFL player who's never played flag football at a competitive level like I have, to just think he's going to have a roster spot, get the heck out of here. I deserve a roster spot. But like I said, namesake for sure is going to get them in that roster spot if they want to. But do you actually think they're going to play in the Olympics?
The NFL players?
NFL players.
Hell yeah.
Hell no.
You don't think they're going to play?
It's going to be right before the season starts. I mean, yeah, they'll delay the season a bit, but the Olympics will be right before the season starts. Ain't no way franchises are going to let NFL players play in the Olympics.
You're right. Because the Olympics do go on whenever OTAs and camps and stuff start, so they probably won't. But I mean, but to my point, they have all right to do so off namesake alone. They have all right to do so off namesake alone. They have all right to do that. If they want to actually play and somebody from the Olympic organization says, hey, I want you to come out, and they decide to, just off namesake, 100% they should go play if they want to. If their organizations let them do it and their teams let them do it and their agents or whoever let them do it. But yeah, they definitely should. Will they? You might have a point. They probably won't because of when their Olympics takes place. But to that point though, to your point, the NFL has started putting flag football ads in their during the Super Bowl. Their Pro Bowl is now a flag football game. It just recently happened. I think this was the second year of that, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that trash.
Yeah, it's terrible. But they playing flag football now as far as when they play their Pro Bowls.
I shouldn't say trash. Let me take that.
Low key is kind of trash.
The reason it's trash is because it's not what you want to see. I mean, a lot of the All-Star games now, other than it used to be basketball, but now even basketball is starting to take a decline when it comes to the competitive nature of it and actual watchability of it. Maybe baseball might be the only one now, but that's
baseball. Baseball is very competitive, though. I just like watching
it is competitive because whoever wins that game gets home field advantage in the World Series. Yeah, but you think about NFL players for their All-Star game playing flag football.
But hold on. First of all, I ain't going to talk about flag football like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
I ain't going to talk about flag football like that because I was a GOAT when I played flag football, and I love flag football.
I get
you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to talk about flag football like that. Bro.
No, okay. I'm not saying flag football is trash. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these players got to be in that game from playing tackle football, not flag football.
For sure.
I don't want to see that. And then even because of the physicality of tackle football, they still don't even really go hard into flag football. I
agree.
That's what I agree. That's why I'm saying it's terrible. Not because of the flag elements, but because of how different how they got to the game and the game that they're actually playing in the All-Star game, which is the Pro Bowl, is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think, and to your point too, I think that all of these All-Star games, other than the Major League Baseball All-Star game, because they actually had something to play for, and maybe that's what they could. Anyway, I'm gonna get to my point. I think a lot of these for basketball and football for sure. I think they've become more entertainment and safety, and more entertainment value and safety than they have been as far as like the competitive nature of it. Because if we being real, they ain't really got much to play for going to the Pro Bowl. If they had some kind of incentive like Major League Baseball has, if you win the world, whatever side, if National League or American League wins the All-Star game, then they have home field advantage in the World Series, that division, then that would probably be something for them to play for as far as the NFL and the NBA. But since they ain't really got much to play for and it's all entertainment value, and of course football and basketball get more eyes than baseball does, then it's going to be all entertainment. People going to watch regardless, to see Steph, to see LeBron, to see KD, to see Giannis, to see Dame, to see Luka, to see Trae Young, to see all of these guys go out there and just go crazy, shooting from half court, windmill dunking, 360 dunking. They're going to watch it for that. But like D'Lo said, though, it is starting to get kind of like starting to become a snooze fest, low key, because ain't nobody being competitive. But flag football, Housh, I understand, because I've played. I played flag football for a long time, up until I came to Washington. I haven't played in the last 3 years, but up until I moved in 2021, I was playing football literally consistently every single season. Spring, summer, fall, winter, I was in a league playing flag football for the better part of, I would say, 11 to 12 years. I was playing flag football. So I understand your sentiment, but them boys will pick it up quick, and they definitely deserve a spot on that Olympic team if they ever decide to go, or if their organization will let them go. Definitely deserve it, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think that organizations will let them go, mainly because we saw this year that organizations weren't letting players go because they wanted them to be healthy so that they could trade them during the season or whenever they wanted to trade them. But last question, if they were to play, who would you think would be good flag football players?
Me, being somebody who actually plays flag football, Tyreek Hill would be amazing, because it's all about speed and
he's low to the ground.
And he's low to the ground. He would be amazing at it. Jamar Chase would be amazing.
There's one person I don't think you're gonna say. You may. You're surprised.
Kyler Murray would be amazing.
I didn't think you was gonna say him.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray's my first pick.
Kyler Murray would be amazing. As far as like people who would be on the defensive side of the ball,
Justin Jefferson, you wouldn't pick him?
I would. I wasn't done, but yeah, Justin Jefferson. Okay. I would definitely pick Jettas. On the defensive side of the ball, Sauce Gardner would be great. Micah would be great, because Micah could play linebacker. Minka Fitzpatrick would be great, because he would be amazing at a safety, especially in 5-man. Oh my God! So it's a lot of guys out there that I think. But the crazy part is, that's what I was about to say. The crazy part is, anybody could go, bro. Everybody is fast. I tell the story all the time. When I was in Miami with the Dolphins, bro, I caught a hitch route and was taking off. Mind you, I ran 4.38 going into the league. I ran a 4.3 I was running down the sideline. He's stupid. I was running down the sideline and I was getting caught at an angle by a defensive tackle, bro. He was a defensive end at the time, but the defensive tackle, I forget his name at the time, and Jason Taylor were catching me at an angle. They're defensive linemen, almost 300 pounds. I went into the league at like 210 and running a 4.38. How are they catching me? So any of those guys in the NFL would be amazing at flag football. Just give them a couple of minutes to a couple of weeks, maybe stretching it to a month. Give them a couple of weeks to a month to learn the strategy and what it really takes to actually play flag football. It's raps for any country in the Olympics. It's raps.
Because you know they're gonna bring in all the strategies that they need to pick the game up quicker than they actually have. So that's why I'm like, okay, I like you said, I understand the sentiment. I still think the statement was silly, but
it kind of was. But I understand why he said it.
Yeah, I understand why he said it, and I'm sure he felt threatened to a degree. You know how when you feel lesser than sometimes, and not saying he feels lesser than. I'm pretty sure he's ultra confident.
He's great. No, Housh is good. He's good. Yeah, he's really good.
But you know, when you feel lesser than, sometimes you just lash out and say stuff that don't really make sense when you think of it logically. I don't think this logically made sense. Like,
he didn't think this through really.
Yeah, if they want to namesake wise, they're getting a spot. They did, in my opinion, and people might think I'm stupid for my statement, but quite literally, they did everything to grow the game of flag football. Because one, and I didn't mention this, they've been, like you said, you mentioned, I guess, they've been pushing ads for flag football for like 5 years now.
For sure.
And pushing
even women, even the women's
exactly.
side.
We on the same boat tonight. Same page. Pushing women's league. So, like, to me, that the statement as a whole didn't make sense. But I understand where he came from.